I'm Oscar Rodriguez. I'm one of the programmers here at Harbortouch, and I'm going to be demonstrating our advanced retail software for you. Here, this is the main login screen of the system. Every employee is going to have their own username and password to enter the system. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go ahead and log in as the administrator. So I'm going to enter the username and password. And now all these features become available. And right from the screen, we can take a look at your customers and modify them. Same thing with vendors. We can go into the system setup. We can take a look at our reports. And we can also manage our inventory. And of course, right in the center, we have our POS system. Okay, before we move forward further, we're going to take a look at this quick launch bar right at the top. In this bar, we have multiple options. This is always going to be at the top. You can do a clock in or clock out for your time card and take a look at your time card reports. We also have the setup screen, same features that we have available in this main circle. So we got the setup screen, reports, inventory, vendors, customers. We have the day end, and this is where we're going to run our numbers at the end of the night. And of course, we got the POS system and the home button to head back into this main screen. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and add a customer. That way we can ring in that customer into our sales. So let's click Customers. Brings us to a customer database. We're going to have a list of all your customers right down this line. Well, let's go ahead and create a new customer. We're going to hit Add New Customer. We have a couple options here. We can identify the customer type. We have multiple preloaded in here for you. And you can modify these in the setup screen, which we will cover further in detail in just a minute. So we got name information, name, last name, company. We're going to enter Harbortouch. Member ID, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Some contact information, a phone number. Address. Doesn't recognize the phone number. All right, we got the address. So we're going to do 1234 Street in Allentown, PA. 18102. Just populating some of this information. A couple features that we have right here from the customer screen. We can take a look at the credit balance. We can take a look at your account receivable balance and points earned. So if you're accumulating points for loyalty rewards, you will be able to keep track of how many points your customers have accumulated. Some tax exemptions. We can load a picture for your customer. And then we have the attributes field right here. And this is what we can call it like a blank canvas. So we can create custom fields to keep track of information, any sort of information that you like to keep track of. One of the examples I use is if you're a jewelry store, you can ask your customers for their ring size or necklace size, and you can go ahead and populate that information in here. But we can create these attributes in the setup screen. You can take notes on your customer. We have a little bit of financial review for this specific customer. So we got number of transactions, the cost of goods sold, total revenue, profit, total returns value. And we can select the starting date and end date for that report. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and make sure we click Save. And there you go. We just added a brand new customer. What we're doing next, we're going to go ahead and head over to the POS screen. We can do it two ways. We can directly go through our quick launch bar, select POS. It's going to ask us to log in, or we can go ahead and cancel and hit the home button, which will take us back into this main screen, and then select the POS. I'm going to enter my credentials here to access the system. And we're selecting the thank you customer as a default customer. And we can start ringing in products here. So we can start scanning. I know the one barcode here. It's called barcode. It's for some tennis shoes. Price $65. This is the price with tax. And you can also bring in items by taking a look at SKU lookup. And what this will do is it will take us into all of our inventory. We can search for items. So if we want to find these tennis shoes, we can simply type tennis. And it's going to find our inventory item. You can scan a product. You can check prices right from here. You can check if you have any items in stock for this one specific item. And you can simply just select it. I'm just going to populate this invoice here. So we're going to go to SKU lookup. I'm going to refresh. I'm going to select a couple items here. All right. So now that we populated this invoice, we can do a couple things from here. We can change price or add a discount. And both of these buttons will take us to the same screen. They'll pop up right here on the right-hand side. We can do a percentage off on an item or the whole invoice. We can do a dollar amount off. We can change the unit price. We can apply a discount reason. And here we can enter the details. We can apply a discount to all transaction lines. We can let the system know that the prices already include the taxes. Then once we're finished, let's say we're going to do a 10% on that item, the veil level 4, and we're going to change price. And there you go. We just applied a discount. We can change your taxes on the spot, remove the tax, or change the percentage if need to. Recall transactions. Right now, this customer doesn't have any transactions available. What we can do from here is that you can look the transactions by the customer, by the transaction date, by the transaction number, or outstanding if you have an account receivable. We can view or reprint the transactions right from here. We can receive payments, credit card authorization form. We can recall transactions. We can copy from a transaction, void a transaction, or return items. I'm going to close here. All right, and what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and we can also go to change clerk. So if the manager needs to come in and apply a discount, they can go ahead and do that. We can do an SKU lookup once again, delete an item, change the customer, or we can go to the miscellaneous screen. When we select that, it's right here on the right. From here, we can do gift card and certificates. We can clear out this whole transaction. We can change the description of an item. We can do paid in and paid out transactions, insert a blank line. Change ship to address. So in this case, we can select a different person to ship other than the customer that is purchasing the item. We can do rental and reservations, gift registry, the sales return, or transaction item attributes. So we can also create attributes for the transactions. What I'm going to do is I'm going to change customer, and I'm going to select the person that we just created here. And then we're going to make a payment. Payment screen loads right here on the right. You can go ahead and enter the cash amount. So let's say we got $350 in cash to pay for this bill. We're given a $26.31 balance. It's displayed on red right on the top. You can also do credit card payments. You can just select your payment, and you can do partial payments. So if you want to do $150 cash, and then you want to do the $173.69 on credit, you can do that. But at this time, we cannot process a credit card transaction, so what we're going to do is we're going to make this invoice in cash. Once we're finished selecting our payment methods, we're going to click Complete Transaction. And there you go. We got some printing options. Print receipt, print a gift receipt, print a packing slip, print a mailing label, print a transaction custom form, and from here you can create a custom form and create a work order that you can provide maybe for your employees depending on the type of business that you're running. Email invoice, and then we're going to go ahead and click OK. There you go. We just made a sale. All right, so right from here, we're going to go ahead and head over to our inventory section. We're going to start with the SKUs. This is where we can modify your items, change descriptions, change prices, and so on. But what we're going to do is we're going to add a brand new item. To do that, we're going to go on the right-hand side, and we're going to enter our new SKU. You can type it in or scan your barcode. I'm going to create barcode 1, since we already have barcode. And then we're going to click Create New SKU. Great. So right from here, we can go ahead and select the item, and we can enter a description. So we're going to describe the item. Let's say this is a pair of socks to go with those tennis shoes. Product number. This could be the vendor number if it's different than the SKU, depending on how your vendors provide their inventory to you. You can probably do the vendor. You can definitely do the vendor number here. So let's do barcode 1 as well. We can group your items. You can enter a group for this. We can do unit types, so whether it's a pound, a case, a box, a pallet, you can enter those unit types in there. We can select the vendor and enter Harbortouch. And department. Both of these are required fields. Right here we have our attribute section for the customer, for the SKU rather. So we can also create custom fields for information we want to keep track of our SKUs. The regular sale price, so let's say that we're selling these socks for $15, and the list cost is going to be 5. So it's the cost that you have on this item. Special prices, so you can do some special discounts, preset those right from the screen. We can add different rules and search queries. Package quantity, so how many items are in a package, and the package unit, how many units within a package. We can enter the points that this item is going to allow for loyalty rewards, and we got the spiffs, which are the commissions towards your employees, and right here we can set up the different commissions for your employees, whether it's going to be a 10% per sale of this item or $10, whichever you set up. We can load a picture for this inventory item, and we can also load alternate vendors. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and click Save. There you go. We just added a brand new item. A couple options we have right here at the top, couple tabs. We can take a look at our inventory tabs, and we can select multiple things here. We can search for inventory on hand, sold inventory, layaway, committed, on order, and all of these different options that we have. What's been transferred, in transit, adjusted, or posted to a purchase order. We can create your purchase orders here. We can create a new order. We're going to call that purchase order number 1. And then create that order. And then from here we can select our vendor, what our dates are going to be, order date, shipping date, cancel, distribution, terms and condition, shipping information, billing information, some memos. Okay, and then we can go ahead and save details and then add the items in order and receive. Okay, we can also do special orders, and once you place your special orders, you're going to be able to take a look at them from here, whether they've been picked up, whether they've been sent into the purchase order, and so on. We can do an inventory count. We can generate an inventory count so you can compare your numbers with your actual inventory on stock. And transfers, if you have the multi-store feature, you can transfer items from one store to the other. All right, and that covers our inventory section. From here, we're going to take a look at setup. All right, and we're going to start from left to right. We got positions, and these are going to be your different jobs. Right now we have the administrator. We can add a position. We're going to call this a cashier. All right, once we select our cashier, we can select the different permissions that we're going to allow this person to do. So in this case, I do not want my cashier to go into the management settings. I don't want him to go into setup. Do not want him to go into reporting. I don't want him to look at my vendors or my inventory. In this case, purely adding and removing customers and editing their information and making sales, the point of sale system. But you can even go further into detail into this point of sale feature, and we can select whether we want this person to do discounts or not. So we remove the option to do discounts, to change taxes, all these different features, gift registry, sell an inactive SKU, multiple options. So you can be very specific of what you want and what you do not want your employees to get into. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure we click Save to save this position. Now we're going to go into employees, and these are going to be your individual employees. So we can enter their name, last name, some contact information, address. You can load a picture if you like, and then we also have the username and password settings here. Make sure you select the position so we have the appropriate permissions for this person. And then we have this attributes section right here. So we can also create those custom fields for our employees. I'm going to go into stores. This is going to be your store information. So we got the name of your store, website, email, address, billing information, contact information, and your tax information. So we can select the different taxes, and you can load up to 3 different taxes and different percentages. Right from here, we're going to select our default customer. I have it set up for the thank you customer. I'm going to go into the general settings. And from here, we can add those customer types that I was talking about earlier. So we can do a new VIP customer. Okay, then we can save that. Now we can select that new type of customer when we add a new customer. We got your attributes section. Okay, and this is what I've been talking about, this custom field. So we can do attributes on SKUs, customers, vendors, employees, reservations, store, web SKU, the CRM feature, vendor job tracking, and transaction items. Okay, so let's say that we're going to do the customer as the customer attribute. And we're going to create a new field called ring size. And the format is very important. We can select whether it's going to be a decimal, an integer, a Boolean, which is a little checkbox, a text box, a date, drop-down text, note, image, HTML editor, and a file attachment. We can enter the tabs, so we can create multiple tabs for the different information you want to create. So in this case, we can call it the jewelry tab, or we can just simply leave it blank. Once we're finished, we're going to make sure we click Add New Attribute. Okay, we got some special transactions set up, age verification, so you can create a age verification range. So, for example, if you're selling tobacco products, you can set so anybody under the age of 18 you cannot sell an item to, and then it will prompt you to scan your ID, the ID of the customer, or you can ask them for the birthday. You can enter the birthday manually. We can back up our database right from here. Inventory settings. All right, so here we got dimensions. So we got those dimensions here. We have size and the different sizes on the side. We can custom build these so you can keep track of things like size, color, texture, materials, anything you can think of. You can create these fields and then create the dimensions right here on the right-hand side. We got seasons and brands. and unit setup. Okay, so we got the pound, the case, the box. We can do a pallet, a bag, a suitcase. Okay, and then right here we can set up your reasons for transaction adjustment or inventory adjustment for a warranty or a transaction type. So in this case, let's say we're going to do a transaction discount, and the reason is going to be damaged. And we're going to require details and add that. So when we apply a discount, now we have this reason that the product was damaged, and then it's going to require details. So you can specify exactly what was wrong with the item, and you can keep track of that. We have your department set up. We can create your different departments. All right, so we got the men's section here. We can do, men's pants as a subcategory. And then within men's pants, we can do something like men's shorts. Okay, so you can categorize and subcategorize as much as you like. You can keep your inventory very well organized. You have your printers and local settings, and here you can select where you want your items to print. So if you have other printers set up with the system, you can choose exactly where you want different things to print. The settings, it's only for HarborTouch employees. All right, so let's take a look at our reports. We have a large number of reports. We have over 1,000 reports available to you. You can also create new reports yourself. But let's take a brief look at these. So we got sales reports, customer reports, vendor reports, inventory, inventory count, special reports, and the 3-inch reports, which will be your smaller receipt printer reports. But let's take a look at sales. We can maximize this. And we have multiple options here. You can take a look at your best sellers. And every single one of these buttons is a different report. So we got best sellers by the SKU, by the product number, or by your attributes, the attributes we created. You can take a look at gross profits, paid in and paid out transactions, sales analysis, sales by. So we can take a look at our sales by department, by clerk, by SKU. You can even do SKU with dimensions, even by the season. We can take a look at our hourly sales performance. We can do that by the transaction date, department, all these different reports. And then once we do our report, let's do an hourly sales, and we're going to do it by the clerk and preview that report. It's going to show us every single hour of the day. And you can also choose your range from when to start it. Number of transactions, total number of goods sold. We can email this, we can print it, or we can export it and select the multiple types of reports that we want to do. So if we want to do a crystal report, a PDF, Microsoft Excel, Word, a rich text format, or XML. Multiple options. And then you can choose your file location from there. But all these different reports that we're looking at right here, they're just sale reports. So you can see the large number of reports that we have available, and this is just one category of the reports, just the sales reports. All right, and then we're going to take a look at our day end. Here's going to show you all the information, what you're expected to have on your till, your expected credit card sales, cash, and any other payment methods. And this is where you're going to compare your information. So you can do, okay, you're supposed to have $323.69. Okay, it's going to tell you you're okay. If you're short, say you have $300, it will let you know that you're short, and it will print on your reports. Okay, and you can also have a memo area here. So, for example, if you're a manager at the end of the night, I'm $20 short, I'll figure out in the morning, something like that. You can leave memos for your day end. Well, always we're going to click Save Payment Totals. All right, so with that, we have finished our overview of the system.